preparing for this to be a relatively long video because we've got a lot to talk about because it's in response to Candace Owens' recent live stream. She has called it Hell Hath No Fury. They are lying about Charlie Kirk. And check out the episode. It's episode 235, all on her YouTube channel. And honestly, I've got a lot to say about this because she does say a lot and a lot of disgusting things. Charlie Kirk hasn't been dead for more than a week yet, and she is already, I mean, she already tried to do it immediately after she found out that he was shot, tried to spin it and make it all about Israel. Now, I've got a major question, and I want you guys to think about this question as we go through Candace Owens' claims. She's now going after Bill Ackman, the billionaire Bill Ackman, as if like she wants to be sued into complete and utter poverty because she's going about it the right way. But have a think about this question. Why in the world would Israel decide to go after one of their biggest supporters and assassinate one of their biggest ever supporters? To me, that makes no sense. It would make a lot more sense, however, if Israel tried to silence one of their biggest critics. But to go after Charlie Kirk, who said that his favorite place is Israel and his second favorite place is Israel, the Holy Land, how he stood up for Israelis all the time, how he was actually in love with Israel. He was Israel's biggest defender, or one of Israel's biggest defenders. So why in the world would Bibi Netanyahu or anyone else for that fact take him out? Wouldn't it make more sense to keep him around? Why in the world would Israel, having everything that's going on at the moment with the Gaza problem, and they're losing a propaganda war, that's clear as day, why would they make it even harder for themselves? Why would they even kill Charlie Kirk? Think about that for 1 second, right? It would make a lot more sense. And they're not really following their usual playbook. And I mean, Dave Smith, of all people, pointed this out. They're not accusing him of anything. They usually do that. There's no hit pieces on Charlie Kirk. They love Charlie Kirk because he loved them back. But people like Candace Owens and all these other dingbats online love to cash in on this narrative. And, you know, the thing is, the anti-Israel narrative has become one of utter psychopathic-like nature. There's no other way around it. If you thought, I said this over on X, if you thought that Candace Owens before Charlie Kirk's death was a psychopath, wait till you see her after Charlie Kirk's death. My goodness me, it is absolutely horrendous. We need to get back to doing critical thinking, ladies and gentlemen, because Candace Owens has gone on several unhinged rants. Granted, you're grieving. Granted, you're angry, like every single one of us is. But to go out there and blame Bill Ackman or try and defame anyone and try and pin this on the likes of Israel, good grief, woman, get a grip. Get a hold of yourself. Someone needs to do something about this woman's mental health. She's not well. I have friends of mine that are constantly sending me reels of anti-Israel stuff. And I know where some of them sit on the Israel stuff, and I love them to death, and I highly respect them enormously. But some of the reels that I see, goodness me. You know, there is such a thing as Israel derangement syndrome. When you're looking at the one thing for a very, very long time, you don't even come out to breathe. You're looking at it and you believe that one thing for the very longest time. It doesn't stop. It just keeps on festering in your brain. That's what Candace Owens is like at the moment. I have another friend who believes that Israel is responsible for literally everything. It's like the plan of Israel, right, is to destroy the Western world. And they've got agents everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's like a mental sickness, because Israel, this small nation, not even the size of New Jersey, for goodness sake, and only a population size of 7 million people, surrounded by terrorist organizations, somehow Israel is responsible for all the negative. Israel controls the weather, man. Israel is, everything bad in society that happens, Israel is supposedly responsible for it. Somehow you can find some little minute connection. That's exactly what Candace Owens is trying to say here. Candace goes on an unhinged rant, threatening to be an enemy to anyone who tries to replace Charlie Kirk or pressure her to follow any shill in Charlie's chair. There's nothing that can stop me. I'll release every text message. Have a watch of this insane woman.
Right now, to those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual, I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop me, okay? And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages, I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now, don't do it, okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair, okay? Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged.
What she said, does that sound like someone that is well in the head? No. She really thinks that they're trying to replace Charlie Kirk with some shill, and she's making more enemies. She's talking a very big game, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt about that. Talking a very big game. But ultimately, woman, if you really wanted to reveal the truth, like you claimed to reveal the truth today, which you didn't, all you did was lie consistently. And it's interesting to me, like you will reveal Seth Dillon's text message and he didn't respond to you. And thank God that Seth Dillon has the brains to not respond. I'd be shocked if I got a message from Candace Owens saying, hey, what are your thoughts on the Hamptons meeting you were there for? You put pressure. Like, I'd be going, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? But Seth Dillon is a lot kinder than I am, a lot smarter and a lot wiser than I am. So not responding is probably a wise thing to do. Why would you even bother responding to this dingbat of a woman? She is looking for something that's not there. And anyone that follows her on her platform, I really do worry about their own mental health too. If you are following this woman and believing anything she's saying for a second, get a mental health check, please. The thing that Charlie Kirk's murder is revealing are grifters and liars like Candace Owens. And she claims to be a good friend of Charlie Kirk. Would a good friend do this after he hasn't even been dead a week yet? Oh, and by the way, she's saying she's got more names that she's going to reveal this week. Not in today's episode, but this week. Prolonging. She wants to keep you on the hook. She wants everyone to stay with her. It's like a series, you know? It's a psychotic series, like a Brigitte Macron one. Follow along, ladies and gentlemen. I've got more information for you, but guess what? You've got to subscribe and follow along. You've got to keep up to date. You've got to watch every single live stream that I do so I can get lots of money from it. The more money that I can make from this off of my friend's death, the better it will be for me. That's exactly what she's doing. And she's going after the likes of billionaire Bill Ackman for something she's got literally no idea about. And she's going off of, oh, I've got reliable sources. Then reveal them all. Man, you want to make enemies of very powerful people. By all means, you're going about it the right way, woman. Bill Ackman has said that he's denied any of these allegations that are coming out against him. That he put pressure on Charlie Kirk, that there was some, like, you've got to go to Israel as like a threat. Very uneasy. And apparently Candace has also felt the same thing. Oh, let me show you this. It's like a 6-minute long clip, and it'll be worth your time watching every single second. It's more insanity, but the end, if you want, you can skip to the end of that clip. I think it's at the closest 6-minute mark. According to Candace Owens, now, I don't know about you, but if Charlie Kirk, a Christian Protestant man, very staunch on that, read the Bible cover to cover, very intelligent, why in the world would he convert to being a Catholic? Why would he convert to Catholicism and not tell anyone about it? Not tell anyone, not have his revelation. We've got to hear it from Candace Owens after his death. Apparently, Charlie was going to mass. He was going through he was doing the rosary, apparently. Watch this dingbat talk about it.
In the Hamptons, and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman, because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote-unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I got to tell you that. It felt like a threat, like not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment, a ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding, that Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, you know, re-education camp. You know, we've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. You know, we just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah. We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo. We just need you to go to Israel and we can make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened, because our sources and what we have, it's solid. Okay. There were conversations that took place, messages that were sent at that time, and they are solid. So I decided another person that was there, and I am not surprised this person was there. If you've been listening to my show, Seth Dillon, I was going to go out to Seth Dillon, and I decided to message him last night about this Hamptons meeting. And Seth Dillon, who is normally very quick with a response, has not yet been able to respond. I'll show you this text message chain. And I want to be clear, I am not someone who normally publicizes text messages. But my friend was shot in the neck. And I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite when it comes to the answers that I am demanding, okay? This is me out to Seth Dillon last night. I sent him Bill Ackman's tweet because, you know, he tweeted, "I feel incredibly privileged to have spent a day and shared a meal with Charlie Kirk this summer. He was a giant of a man." I said, "Any comment on this one, Seth?" He didn't answer last night. This morning I said, "Need a comment ASAP, please." He didn't answer. Then I followed that up and I said, "Trying again here. You were present when Ackman lost his mind on Charlie and when Bibi invited him to Israel and Charlie refused." Text messages immediately following this meeting are circulating. I find Ackman's statement, as though the meeting was somehow cordial, to be incredibly disturbing. Are you at all disturbed by that tweet? Do you feel, as I do, that this tweet significantly betrays the defined purpose and mood of his, and I presume your, final meeting with Charlie Kirk? ? He was unable to speak to me, but he did place some frantic calls to Turning Point USA. Yeah. You see, I went out to Seth, but I also went out to two other people who were at this meeting, and nobody is willing to go on record. They're all messaging each other, trying to figure out a coordinated response to say that, no, this was all quite cordial, but no one wants to go on record and describe it as cordial because they know someone's leaking, because someone's got a guilty conscience about what happened at the Hamptons. So I will again put it out there, Seth, Bill Ackman, and to the other individuals who I have not yet named, but who are going to be named later this week, who were at the Hamptons when Charlie was put under pressure, when Bibi Netanyahu called him and invited him to Israel, again, in a move that when it happened to me, and it wasn't Bibi Netanyahu, felt to me like a laced threat. I am inviting you guys, I will give you my platform, actually, to come clear matters up, to tell us what really happened. Because, you know, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. And he says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary. And typically when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian.
I went down this way. Good grief. Good grief. Britta says, I fully expected Candace to blame Israel for Charlie's death. So did I. But I didn't give her enough credit. She is threatening to be an enemy. Anyone joining Turning Point USA who supports Israel. Wild. But it's okay. She's just questioning the narrative currently. Just questioning the narrative, according to Candace Owens. Owens claims Kirk was having a change of heart on Israel before his death and says he was contacted by Bibi Netanyahu. I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment, a ton of money. For what exactly? To do what? To do the same thing that he's been doing this entire time, defend Israel. Ackman has denied the claims, calling them totally false. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was Bill Ackman, I would just sue this woman into oblivion for her lies. Maybe that might teach her a little bit of a lesson. Maybe. I don't know. Corey Walker has said, I don't think her show is going to last 2 more years. She keeps defaming people way wealthier and more powerful than her. Now she's doing it to Bill Ackman. Not a very good idea. Not a very good idea, if you ask me. Candace Owens is on her show now implying that Charlie Kirk's alleged murderer didn't do it and that there's some secret killer out there that actually shot Kirk. I think we can all guess who she's really hinting at. She's not hinting at it. She's saying it. Israel is responsible, apparently. Every second spent saying Israel killed Charlie Kirk is a second not spent holding the radical left accountable for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Understood properly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Ian Carroll are the number one defenders of the radical left at the moment. They keep deflecting. They keep saying it's all about Israel, not the radical left. The radical left are not really our enemy at the moment. No. They've all got their talking points. How strange none of this came out when Charlie Kirk was alive. That's Insurrection Barbie. Interesting, isn't it? It takes Charlie Kirk not being here at all to confirm any of this, for this to finally come out after his death, and for them to just completely and utterly try and tarnish his legacy, try and tarnish his name, even more so. And say that of all people, Charlie Kirk was having a change of heart against Israel and that he was being blackmailed. It's the same script. Oh, and if you have to ask Bibi Netanyahu on TV, on Newsmax or any other program, did Israel kill Charlie Kirk, then you're definitely guilty, according to Candace Owens. You know, the reason why he was asked that question in the first place, for someone who's thinking logically and with actual clarity and sanity, something that Candace Owens is not doing in the first place, it's because of people like Candace Owens, and there is a corner of the internet that Candy's a part of that are pushing the Israel did it narrative. So yes, ask away, because the level of shock and horror on Bibi Netanyahu's face, who is actually a friend to Charlie Kirk. I would have the same reaction if because I'm a human being. I would be in shock as well. Accusing me of doing something like that. Killing my friend. No way in the world. That's exactly what Candace Owens and the corner of the internet are doing. That's why she asked the question. Because if you actually listened to the interviewer asking the question, she goes, one more question. I've got to do this. Because of people like you, Candace. But you are a provocateur. You are a charlatan. You are a grifter. And you're using your supposed friend's death, murder, assassination to your own sick, twisted advantage. You've got to stop. You literally have got to stop. I know you're angry. I know you're grieving. But stop trying to accuse people of doing something they didn't do. Israel is not responsible for this. There is no evidence at all that Israel is responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. Stop blaming them. Stop spreading lies. Stop being so hateful. And just honor your friend. If you really thought he was your friend, then damn it, woman, honor the man like every single other person is doing. Benny Johnson, J.D. Vance. There are loads of people that are actually friends with Charlie Kirk that are honoring him, that are choosing to honor him and not profiting from blaming Israel or pushing a false narrative. They're not trying to use Charlie Kirk's death for their gain, unlike you, woman. It's just as depraved. You've got insane and sane people, and you're on the really insane level. It's horrible what you're doing. So hell hath no fury, like the lies of Candace Owens. And the further she digs herself into the hole, the further down in hell she goes. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.